Good evening. This is All India Radio Kohima. I'm Jonas Yantan with Evening News. The headlines: Nagaland among states and union territories directed by the centre to ramp up COVID testing. 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly Winter Session delayed report on SARFAESI Act. Union Cabinet completes formalities to repeal the three farm laws. And United Nations launches 16 days of activism worldwide as part of International Day for Elimination of Violence against Women, beginning tomorrow. As India achieved the milestone of vaccinating 100 crore people against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the people, doctors, nurses and others who make this possible. Even though the country has achieved this feat, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners to get vaccinated at the earliest and also help others to get vaccinated. During the festival season, please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 6 feet for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075 and state helpline number 1800-345-0019. And now the news in detail. Nagaland is among 11 states and 2 union territories directed by the centre to ramp up COVID testing to keep pandemic in control. Union Health Ministry wrote to Nagaland, Sikkim, Maharashtra, Kerala, Goa, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Rajasthan, West Bengal and Ladakh over decline in weekly COVID-19 testing numbers. In a letter written to these state governments, Union Health Secretary Rajesh Bhushan said that it is important that the state maintains high testing given the recent increase in travelling due to various events such as marriages and festive celebrations. Bhushan cautioned that a decrease in testing would undermine the actual infection spread within the community. He also said with the onset of winter and increased pollution in some states, prevalence of influenza-like illness and respiratory distress symptoms should be closely monitored. Bhushan asked the states that tests should be conducted regularly for timely monitoring and clustering of cases for early hotspot identification. The winter session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly (NLA) begins tomorrow. The 2-day session will witness obituary references, questions, reporting on assent to bills, laying of the Select Committee report on the SARFAESI Act 2002, presentation of Assembly Committee reports, introduction of government resolution and adoption of government resolution, and unfinished business, if any. The Union Cabinet has completed the formalities to repeal the 3 farm laws. The 3 farm laws passed last year are Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Act 2020, Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Act 2020, and Essential Commodities Amendment Act 2020. Briefing reporters in New Delhi, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur said, in the upcoming winter session of Parliament, it will be the government's priority to take back these 3 farm laws. Earlier, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had announced the government's decision to repeal all the 3 laws. International Day for the Elimination of Violence against Women will be observed tomorrow. The United Nations, in this line, has also launched 16 days of activism worldwide to end all forms of violence against women and ensure the safety of women in public spaces. As Nagaland joins the observation, Nagaland State Commission for Women Chairperson Krenio Dutcher in a message said that gender-based violence comes in different forms and many social behavior and actions apart from physical harms that disregard women's dignity and well-being but go unnoticed, either due to cultural upbringing or lack of awareness. Dutcher pointed out that mass awareness and sensitization is needed to stop different forms of violence against women. She said that we as a community need to identify and address the forms of violence against women that the present Naga society is faced with. Dutcher called all Naga men and women, all the local level, to join hands and create a safe space for women at home, workplaces and public spaces so that every woman and girl is able to walk freely and safely in any locality, streets, colonies and marketplaces at any hour without fear, threat, or harassment. This news comes to you from All India Radio, Kohima. You can also listen to this news bulletin on a YouTube channel, AIR News Kohima. In view of the winter session of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly beginning tomorrow, the Superintendent of Police has issued traffic regulations as part of the security arrangement. Only vehicles with car passes allotted for the recurring session will be allowed entry to the Assembly Secretariat. No vehicle will be allowed to be parked by the roadside from 6 a.m. onwards during Assembly sessions from BSNL Telephone Exchange till Classic Island, Raj Pawan till MS Classic Island to Assembly Secretariat via High School, and from new CM official residence, Bezucha, to Assembly Secretariat. Heavy vehicles will not be allowed to ply in Kohima town from 6 a.m. till the session is over, and heavy vehicles will not be allowed to be parked along T Block Road. The police authority has further cautioned against defaulting vehicles and their owners. Union Cabinet has approved continuation of National Apprenticeship Training Scheme for the next 5 years. The Cabinet, chaired by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, today accorded its approval for stipendiary support of 3,054 crore rupees to apprentices to undergo training for the period from 2021-22 to 2025-26. Approximately 9 lakhs apprentices will be trained by industry and commercial organizations. The government has approved an expenditure of more than 3,000 crore rupees during the next 5 years. Out of 514 COVID-19 test results received today, 10 new positive cases were reported, taking the cumulative case to 32,078. The sample positivity rate also dropped to 1.95%. With 6 persons recovering, the total recovery stands at 30,192. With no death reported for 2 days, the death toll remains at 680. Out of 130 active cases, 11 persons are currently admitted in COVID hospital and 95 under home isolation. Cooperation Department held its 10th review meeting today. Chairperson, Joint Secretary Cooperation Department, Kusa Fittu, urged the officers to impart thrift and credit habits among the rural masses and create financial literacy. RCS Temjin Lungkama exhorted field officers to play active role in reaching out to the people and also announced that cancellation of non-functioning cooperative societies will be implemented on a war footing. ARCS Imsun Nungsang said that the amount of recovery of outstanding government loans during last year was 157.460 lakh rupees. The meeting further resolved to strictly implement no work, no pay against non-performing employees, where a team in the head office will regularly monitor the performance. University Grants Commission has invited online applications for various scholarships schemes. The schemes are Indira Gandhi PG Scholarship for Single Girl Child, PG Scholarship for University Rank Holder Candidate, Ishan Uday Special Scheme for North Eastern Region, and PG Scholarship for Professional Courses for SC/ST candidates. Applications can be submitted through National Scholarship Portal at scholarships.gov.in. And now 20 news, here are the main points again. Nagaland among states and union territories directed by the centre to ramp up COVID testing. 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly Winter Session to lay report on SARFAESI Act. Union Cabinet completes formalities to repeal 3 farm laws. And United Nations launches 16 days of activism worldwide as part of International Day for Elimination of Violence against Women beginning tomorrow. That is all we have in this evening news bulletin. Good night.